Shawn, skipper with American Hunter, and I'm here at the 2016 Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Now behind me we have the Outfitter Hall, where outfits from across the globe come to offer hunters a chance to book trips 2016 and beyond. Now the folks in here have decades upon decades of hunting experience with turkeys, whitetail, moose, elk, waterfowl, bear, the whole package. There's African safaris too. John Zent, Scott Olmstead, and I decided to take advantage of the years of experience the folks in this hall have to offer by asking them some of those hotly debated topics in their respective hunting fields. Now let's see what the waterfowl outfitters had to tell me. Now, Tanner, what's the number one question you guys have been getting at the show from prospective clients?
Probably our location and what kind of birds we're shooting, what kind of birds we got up in Lake Ontario, and really the number one bird that we're shooting. Because I mean, if you look at the table, we got so many different species of birds. People want to know, like, when am I going to go up there and shoot? So mainly that, and like where we're at.
Okay, tell me about the birds you guys got up there.
Well, we mainly shoot all divers and sea ducks. The two birds that we shoot the most are called old squaws and scoters. They're white-winged scoters. That's really what a lot of people like to come shoot, and I mean, that's really what we got up there in like thousands.
All right, now what steel shot are you recommending your hunters use when they come up with it? You got a brand?
I mean, we shoot Federals. We shoot number 2s. They're bigger, nothing smaller than number 2s.
All right. Now, sorry, Tom. Lost my train of thought. Wow. Okay. Well, with your hunters, what is the number one reason you feel that the hunters you guys bring along miss?
Not lean the birds enough. Everyone is always shooting behind the birds.
Shooting behind them?
Very fast birds, yes.
A little more follow through, a little more lead. And you think that's a case of them just like being used to shooting divers?
Yeah, a lot of guys just have never done it before. They're used to shooting puddle ducks, which the situations are a lot different. And divers, I mean, they come in fast. They got the wave action of the boat. They're going up and down, plus the speed of the birds. It messes a lot of people up.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you have guys that are a little uncomfortable getting in the boats?
Some guys, yes. They've never been on a boat a lot. Some guys get seasick as soon as they get on the boat. I mean, a lot of guys they're uncomfortable.
So one of your big recommendations would be first thing, be comfortable on the boat before you
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, what's the toughest bird you guys got to really decoy in your flight?
Probably that we decoy probably golden eyes. Golden eyes are a very weary bird. They're very tough to get in, and they're probably one of the toughest ducks to actually kill. They just don't die.
They're tough. I got after them in Utah this year. That whistling wing is pretty deep.
Yeah, oh, you can hear them from a mile away. It's very loud.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, Roger, what kind of birds are you guys got in focus?
We got for Canada geese, sea ducks, and diving ducks on the eastern shore of Maryland.
All right, now what would you call the toughest bird to decoy in the flight?
Probably the long-tailed duck, or also known as an old squaw.
All right, now what steel shot would you say you're recommending for your hunters that come?
I recommend number 1 shot to BB shot and modified choke tubes.
All right, now with the Canada geese, do you recommend 3.5 inch, or do you think that's not necessary?
Most of our shots are decoying birds, so it's not necessary to use 3.5 inch shot where we're at.
All right. What's the number one question you've been getting from prospective clients out here at the show?
Oh, that's a hard one. Mainly, what kind of birds are we going to see when we're duck hunting, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say the number one reason your clients miss?
Trying to outshoot one another.
I've been there and done that.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I need. Thank you, Roger.
Right. Thank you.
Now, Jim, what kind of birds you guys got?
We're mostly doing saltwater birds on the intercoastal waterway and in the ocean.
All right, now what would you consider really the toughest bird to decoy in your area?
Oh gosh, I'd say the pintails and black ducks are the toughest. They're the most wary.
Okay, now what are you really recommending for your hunters to bring on a steel shot?
Well, my hunts, I tell everybody to shoot BB. So, if the birds, our sea duck hunts, the birds are at 10 to 15 yards. But the brant and some of the black ducks and stuff, you might be shooting 40, 45 yards. So, BB is a good all-around shot.
Okay, now what would you really say the number one reason your hunters miss when that happens is?
If you watch the video, it's hard to see when they're shooting at the bird, but watching videos and stuff and slowing them down, they're always behind them.
Always
behind them.
Do you think they're just not familiar with keeping up with it?
Yeah, they're not swinging through the bird, so they kind of point and shoot instead of passing through the bird. So.
Okay. Now, last question. What's the number one question you're getting here on the show floor this week?
It seems like people are price conscious this year. They're looking for a good bargain, a reasonable rate, and someone they can trust. So I think that's what the key things are this year.
All right. Well, good to know. Thank you, Jim.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, Paul. Tell me a little bit about the birds that you put hunters on.
The birds that we hunt are mainly the Pacific black brant, common goldeneye, greater scaup, canvasback, and surf scoters.
All right. Now, which of those really would you consider the toughest to bring a deep?
They're all pretty unique in their own way. The brant can be very finicky. You know, sometimes I try to tell people they're like taking a 5-year-old to Toys R Us. You know, they may be talking about a toy for the last month. They may go straight to it. That would be your decoys. They may circle it. They may go to the other side and never go near it. So they can be a little tough sometimes.
Okay. Now, what are guys really calling their trophy bird when they come out? What do a lot of guys come out there come to you looking for?
The trophy birds are mainly the black brant and the canvasbacks.
All right. What steel shot would you recommend hunters come out with when they come up with?
I recommend them to bring what they're comfortable shooting on a regular basis. Whatever patterns will out of their gun. You know, anything from the 2 to 5 range works good on everything that we hunt.
Okay. And what would you say the number one reason your hunters miss is when that does happen?
Typically, it's the speed of the birds. You know, they can see them coming from a ways out, and it gets them all excited. They don't give a good enough lead, and that's it.
Okay. Now, one last question. What is the number one question you're getting from prospective clients here at the show?
Mainly location. You know, they're asking where I'm at. You know, what is available for them to come hunt. That's been the biggest draw.
All right. Well, thank you, Paul.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Captain Todd, what kind of birds are you putting hunters on?
Well, we're putting hunters on sea ducks in Maine. We're hunting the eiders, the old squaws, and 3 species of scoters.
All right. Now, which of those would you really call the toughest bird to decoy?
Toughest bird to decoy is probably the old squaws.
You guys come to you for a particular trophy bird, or are they really going more for the sea duck experience?
They want the sea duck experience, but everybody from this area is coming up for the king. Redo that one.
Sure. Just go ahead and start with your answer when you're ready.
Okay. Ask the question again.
All right, now guys, are hunters really coming to you looking for a particular trophy bird or just the sea duck experience?
They want the sea duck experience, but they're coming to get the common eider. That's the big bird that we have in Maine that they can't get anyplace else.
Okay. Now, what would you really recommend for your hunters steel shot wise?
Steel shot wise, we usually use 3-inch number 2s.
All right.
A lot of times it's federal ammunition.
I know the sea ducks can be tough little buggers.
Yes, they can.
Now, what would you say really, when one of your hunters does miss, what's the number one reason why?
Shooting behind.
That's a common answer.
Always behind.
All right. Now, what's the top question you are getting from hunters on the show floor?
Do we have eiders, and can we get a lot of them?
So they're hot on the eiders.
Hide on the eiders.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Ed, talk to me a little bit about where you guys are located and what kind of birds you're hunters on.
We're located on the Mississippi Flyway, just above St. Louis, Missouri. And we're actually located on the Illinois side in the river bottom. There we flood 300 acres of cornfields.
All right, now what do guys really come to you on? Is there a trophy bird or is it just the experience?
It's mainly for the experience. We kill a lot of different species, but out east, we get a lot of duck hunters here wanting to try to get a pintail for a nice trophy bird.
All right, now when you get hunters out there, let's do a couple little strategy questions. Do you really think 3.5-inch shells are necessary for those geese?
They're not necessarily where we're at because we do have a range limit. We don't shoot any birds that are outside 30 yards when we first start shooting these guys. But the Canadian geese are pretty tough, so they are going to need a bigger round. or a bigger shot to help them make the penetration. If we're snow goose hunting or on the snow goose, they don't have as much padding on the Canadians, and it's a lot easier for them to take down.
Okay. Now, what would you really call the toughest bird to decoy in your fly bag?
One of the toughest birds I would say is actually the pintail. They're a very leery bird. You know, think they're going to finish it up, but they don't. They've actually pulled out other groups of mallards and stuff that we've been hunting.
Now, when you got guys out there and they miss, what would you say are the number one cause of that problem?
Usually they're stopping the gun. Instead of doing a follow through and continuing on with their shot, they usually stop the gun in progress instead of keeping on the bird.
That would be your number one piece of advice that you offer to new and prospective clients when they came out to hunt.
As far as the best advice that I would give them, when you're coming here with that, dress warm, we will take care of you, do some practicing, even if you have an opportunity to take a shooting class, such as with an NRA organization and such, that'll really help your success as far as actually making kills on the shots.
All right, well, thank you, Ed.
Thank you. Enjoy it.
Now, Captain Matt, tell me a little bit about where you guys are located and what kind of birds you're hunting.
We're in Central Jersey. We do a little bit of everything: sea ducks, divers, puddle ducks, Canada geese, snow geese.
Now, is there a particular trophy bird that guys come to you to kill, or is it just the experience?
A lot of guys come up for sea ducks, a lot of old squalls, scoters, and the experience.
All right, now what would you really call the toughest bird to decoy in your flyby? That is.
Probably pintails, canvasbacks. A lot of guys way after we don't have many of them that come through. And when you get them, it's a good day.
Now, see, you guys do geese. Is a 3.5-inch shell really necessary for a goose?
No, I stopped actually shooting 3.5-inch shells this year. I've got
Okay.
down to 3 inch, just shooting decoying birds, and I don't think it's necessary.
All right. Now, when your clients do miss, what would you say the number one cause of this is?
Not having their head down on the gun, and not swinging through, definitely.
Okay. And what would be the one big piece of advice you'd offer your hunters before they came out?
Put your head down on the gun and swing through.
Okay. That make killing birds a lot easier.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll be back next year at the 2017 Great American Outdoor Show, which will return here to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. See you there.